Hey, what's going on, guys? Steve Larrett here with the Steve Larrett team at Vanguard Realty Alliance. I wanted to talk to you briefly today about this market that we're currently experiencing and the way to negotiate the best possible discount. It is, despite the COVID environment, still a seller's market. There's a little bit of diminished visibility for sellers because buyers can't physically go into homes. But in key price points that were competitive going into this thing, there's a lot of pent-up demand. And so while not every buyer is going to be willing to buy a house sight unseen virtually, a lot of those buyers will, because they have pressure coming from they've already sold their house and they need to settle on what they're going to be moving into, relocation, divorce, all those kinds of things. There is pent-up demand that is causing people to just say, hey, we don't know when this thing's going to open up. We can't wait any longer, and we've got to pop on something. So even with that still being a seller's market, you can really negotiate a nice discount for yourself in this kind of environment. But here's something that you need to remember in order to do that. It is still a seller's market, and the way to get the biggest discount is to not ask for the biggest discount. And what I mean by that is you often catch more flies with honey. I'm sure we've all heard that. In negotiating, goodwill, I tell the agents that I coach, goodwill is the one thing that is free in every negotiation but can narrowly be bought back by any sum of money once it's gone. So it's so important that you don't squander the goodwill up front by submitting some insulting lowball offer. What's going to happen if you do that is you are going to shut down the seller, and you're going to shut down, consequently, any potential that you had of actually getting a fairly significant discount, because they're going to get insulted, they're going to ball up, and they're going to be more inclined to tell you to shove off. As where if you would have come in with something respectable, you're probably going to get a handsome discount for the fear of the uncertainty that sellers are experiencing in this market. So a great example would be a house is listed at $650, and you would be willing to pay $625 for that house. But your thought process is, well, let's go in at $600 and see what happens. That's just too deep of a cut. Obviously, offer market value, but that's too deep of a cut for a seller to conceptualize. If they're at $650, they firmly believe that they belong well north of $6. Psychologically, you can tell that. Otherwise, they would have listed at $625 if they were going to sell the house close to $610. So you really have to factor in based on the price point, what you believe a seller can conceive of selling the house for in this market. You can do that based on how far entrenched into a $100,000 price point they actually are, and you will do far, far better in a market like this by asking for a little less up front. You're going to get a lot more on the back end by not insulting somebody. So don't shut down the goodwill. Certainly don't squander it. Goodwill is the one thing in every negotiation that is present but can narrowly be bought back by any sum of money once it's gone. So if you guys want more tips like this, follow me at Steve Larrett Realtor on YouTube, and I will chat with you soon. As always, if you want somebody that has great experience in negotiating, please feel free to reach out. My phone number is 484-574-3174. Cheers, you guys. Have a great Thursday. Bye-bye.